sisters. I'd like to welcome you to the Indiana Priesthood Leadership Conference on Scouting, or Little Philmont, as we more commonly know it. I am President David Pitcher, second counselor to President Calley of the Indianapolis, Indiana North State, and or Indiana West State. President Calley is presiding in this meeting today. Would also like to recognize various other special guests who are here with us, especially Brother Mark Pendleton of the General Young Men's Board that's part of our program today. Also, we have stake presidents and stake presidency members from some of the other local states. We have President David Kennard from the Indianapolis, Indiana West State. I'll get it right eventually. Also, we have Tom Burdett of the Muncie State. That's a little bit easier to remember. As well as representatives from the Indianapolis State and the Bloomington State. And this meeting is being broadcast throughout Indiana. So we have various participants throughout the state. We'll go ahead and get started by singing the hymn 324, Rise Up. Thank you, President Kennard, as well as Sister Paul and Brother Enns with the music. A couple other guests that I felt to recognize. We do have Patrick Starrett, who is the Crossroads of America Council Scouting Executive with us. Also in the audience we have Bob Reynolds, who is part of the BSA National President's Council, and many others. Here we have members of stake presidencies, bishoprics, young men's presidency, primary presidencies. Thank you so much for joining us. Some of you have been with us in previous Little Philmonts. Others are here wondering, what is Little Philmont? Well, let me share just briefly. Philmont speaks to the National BSA Training Center that's in the Cimarron, New Mexico Valley and mountain range. It's a training center that the Boy Scouts of America allow the LDS Church to have 2 weeks a year to send our leadership to provide in-depth training on how to bring together the principles of the Aaronic priesthood and the methods of the Boy Scouts of America. There we are trained by members of the General Young Men's Presidency, as well as members of the General Primary Presidency and their board members. And this is just such a wonderful opportunity that with our stake, all of our stake presidency, as well as our stake Young Men's Presidency, have been able to participate in. But unfortunately, just a few individuals have that opportunity. So Little Philmont is a way that we can bring that training, bring really the light and knowledge that is given, back to local leaders. It's been a wonderful tradition. We're very excited to be here. Let me briefly talk about our agenda today and what to anticipate. We're going to have the general session that will go from now until 11:30. At that point, we will have a break where there will be refreshments and also various displays in the cultural hall. And we're going to give you, a good probably 20-25 minutes at least to enjoy the displays and refreshments before we come back together, here to continue with the Q&A session. As mentioned, we're very privileged to have Brother Mark Pendleton with us. He will be sharing some insights during this main session. But in that later session, we'll have more of an extended opportunity for questions and answers, and to talk about some of the resources, as well as some of the thoughts of the brethren, and specifically the General Young Men's Presidency. Now, one of the items of feedback that we got following last year's Little Philmont was that there was a desire for more question and answer and more discussion. we'll be trying to carve opportunities, for question and answer into the main session. But also, we've provided a phone line, for those that are away from the building, or some of you here who would like to text in a specific question that you'd like answered. We may be able to address it in this main session. If not, we'll try to cover those questions in that later question and answer session. So as a theme for this year's Little Philmont, we came together as a planning committee and discussed various things that were on our minds and things that we would like to accomplish. And primary was the focus on hastening the work and the change with missionary service to 18. And as we were talking about, our focus and vision and what we wanted that theme to be, our Stake Young Men's president, he said, well, maybe the theme should be 18, are you serious? And I think some of us have that reaction at times with our young men, that we would send these young men out to represent the church. And now to lower the age to 18. So 18, are you serious? But as we continue to think about that theme, we recognized that in addition to that initial reaction, 18, are you seriously preparing, is a focus that we want to promote today. Are we serious about our role in building boys and strengthening the leaders of tomorrow? So we'll go ahead and start our program today with a video clip to introduce the topics of the day. Following the video clip, we will hear from President William Calley. Following President Calley, we'll have a presentation by Brother Doug Pond, who is the High Counselor in the Indianapolis, Indiana West Stake of Zion. Following Brother Pond, we'll have an intermediate hymn, number 249, Called to Serve, and we'll proceed to that point in the program.